Hello, I'm the Ballmeister, and welcome back to Digimon Stories Cyber Sleuth. Last time, we got a trophy, we completed a couple cases, and now, we're going to dive into the Nakano Underground. This is a case from the government. The door on the Nakano Underpass has been unlocked. What waits on the other side? We only get 800 yen, 500 CSP, but we also get a farm develop the kit, which means we get another farm. Which means more talking from Kyoko. I'll explain all the details. The client this time is the local government that takes care of the utilities for Nakano. Basically, it's a bureaucratic agency. Why are you so shocked? Of course, we specialize in the supernatural and complex cybercrime, so we usually have a very specific clientele. But we cooperated very well with Detective Matayoshi's police force, so they consider us to be a pretty good detective agency. So we received a case from a public agency, quite a rare event. This case was originally discussed by Detective Matayoshi with the government agency. It's a bit special, so Detective Matayoshi passed us down to the government agency like a sort of ace up his sleeve, and that's our case. Got it? Good. The case is to unlock a gate in Nakano Underpass. It seems the gate is locked due to some electronic glitch and can't be opened. Huh? What, you don't know about Nakano Underpass? It's a facility that houses the equipment used to provide Nakano's public utilities, such as power cables, water pipes, and so on. They are moving forward with a plan to improve the look of the city center above ground by housing the public utilities underground. Looks like the visible power cables and telephone poles are set to disappear in the not-too-distant future. Underneath Nakano, there's a vast complex of tunnels, so there are of course many entrances. One of these entrances is the place where the gate we need to unlock is. It is a password-protected electronic lock, but it seems some time ago it locked for no reason, and no one has been able to open it since. They contacted the manufacturer, but they give up. If needs be, they will destroy the gate, but obviously that would incur serious costs. While the costs were discussed, a weird groaning sound was heard coming from the other side of the gate. It seems something strange is going on. The manufacturer had a bad feeling about it and didn't want to open the gate, but the government suspected criminal activity and called Matayoshi. I see, so the buck passed to the Kuremi Detective Agency. Well, after all, we have the best people for the job if you want to access a place that is off bounds to most. This is actually a good opportunity. I've been wanting to investigate the rumors surrounding Nakano's underground system for a while. The gate in question has an electronic lock, so naturally there's a cyberspace inside of it. You're the only one who could break into the gate without destroying it. We've already received permission from the government to access the underpass. Alright then, shall we go and find out what the real situation with this underground gate is? Where is that groaning voice coming from? What kind of strange world lies beyond a gate? This is going to be so much fun! Huh? It's an underground gateway, so there will be just an underground tunnel behind it, right? Have you ever heard of a stochastic process in quantum mechanics? I guess I should be telling you about Schrödinger cat. Until we open the gate, we cannot know if we will find an underground tunnel or the void of space. Until you open the gate, the world is in flux of overlapping possibilities, so just try to enjoy it. Let's go. The case is a simple matter of unlocking the gate, but what's behind the gate, your job is to find that out. And of course, Kyoko very rarely leaves her chair, so it's up to us to do all the legwork. Medals. So yeah, I was doing some research as I was going along. There's 3. I did in fact I've collected 100 medals. Just because I haven't turned it into Metal Man does not mean I didn't still collect them. So we're on to the Nakano Underpass now. A lot of reading in this one, if I remember correctly. Did you arrive at the underpass? The gate we need to unlock is inside. The control panel should be beside you. Do you see it? Connect, jump into it, and unlock the gate. What happened? What? Connect jump isn't working? That's strange. It's an electronic lock, so there should be some kind of network inside it. Perhaps it's just that you didn't activate the connect jump properly? Right, I think it's time I verified your ability to perform a connect jump. Raise your hand. Now concentrate. Now what? That's it. 30 minutes later. 1 hour later. Several hours later. 100 years later. What were you doing just now? Whatever you're doing, it seems like it's not working. Oh, there we go. Oh no, it looks like I can't verify it. Well, it seems like you can only connect jump if you feel disappointed. If I were to posit a theory about how your connect jump works, your ability locates a digital wave, piggybacks on it to the target location's digital space, and then enters it. It can be a network, a PC server. It doesn't matter what the target location is. If it has a digital space, then you should be able to access it. However, there seems to be certain limitations when interfering with the digital wave. In other words, when you can, you can, and when you can't, you can't. What we determine is that you connected before by chance, and even if there are specific reasons why you were able to each time. Put simply, cause and effect are connected to the digital waves. Wait a second. How could you connect jump this time then? I don't have any proof to support my answer, but perhaps there were others like you who had tried and failed to open the lock and were disappointed? Yes, disappointment is definitely key. I've rambled on long enough. Yes, you have. Please get this lock open as quickly as you can. Jesus, she likes to ramble. Alright, so I can't remember what's in here. I feel like there should be music, too. Is there anything inside here? Yeah, it's safe to say there's nothing in here that I could really level up with, so we're just gonna move right along. Oh, and we're gonna get to learn another new skill. Copy and paste. Copies the target's color data and temporarily saves it by pasting it on the color space. When correctly placed, the security will be dropped and it will be able to continue. Movement to a different area will clear any copied data. So if we hop in, go into copy paste, and then move in here, across the way, use copy paste again. Oops. There we go. Now we have 2 yellow beacons. The door should be unlocked now. Let's head back and check. So now we get out of here. I think we've been here more or less before. Except these are different. It's Terriermon and Lopmon. I don't remember seeing these two last time I was in here, I think. Unless it's a different digital space. But still, like, no experience points, so I don't want to stick around too long. Let's just get out of here. Alright, so another battle down. Get out of here. And open the door. But something doesn't look right down here. Huh? It seems you've managed to unlock the gate, so thanks for that. It must have been easy for you, given your skill. What? There's a bit of a labyrinth in the underground tunnel? What do you mean by a bit? Is there any sign of a Digimon or an Eater in there? I see. It is strange to see just a small section of labyrinth. I said I know we couldn't know what we would find, but I wasn't expecting that. I believe we have witnessed a special digital wave currents. It's as if it's some kind of current. I see. This is definitely a ley line. Have you ever heard of ley lines before? There are many in Tokyo. They're also called dragon chains. Dragon signifies the undulating landscape, the hills and the mountains. The dragon chain is what we call the flow of the land spirit. It is well known that Susei Tenkai, advisor to Ieyasu Tokugawa, turned Edo into a great feng shui city. It is said that he built a waterway and path to lead the chi from Mount Fuji in Tokyo Bay to Edo Castle. Edo? I think it's Edo. I love how I'm just nodding. Of particular note in this instance are Kenei-ji and Asasuka Shrine to the northeast, and Jojo-ji and Hiei Shrine to the southwest, all big religious institutions. In Feng Shui, those directions are thought to draw negative energy their way. The shrines hold big festivals to purge and expel that energy. And if you look at the lines that connect Buddhist temples Kenei-ji and Jojo-ji and Shinto shrines Asakusa and Hiei, you'll find that they cross right inside of Old Edo Castle, home to today's Tokyo Imperial Palace. It's really fascinating to see. Nowadays, the waterways have been swapped out for rail lines and radio towers dot the northeast and southwest. You could say we finished what Tenkei started. Viewed from the eyes of current society, those rail lines and radio towers are artificial ley lines that supplement the old roads and waterways. Naturally, where you're standing underground constitutes another ley line running through Tokyo, too. Not just any ley line either, the one that's believed to emanate from Mount Fuji is supposed to run right through here. The man-made tunnel layered on top of it all allows the tidal waves to keep flowing in perpetuity. It's really a peculiar thing going on down there. That's what producing this quasi-labyrinth you're seeing before you. Knowing that, there's weird voices that probably are supposedly hearing probably belong to Digimon that are appearing as a result. I could go on for a while yet about the subject, but you somewhat get what I'm saying, right? I'll take that to mean you understood it well enough then. At this point, your work is essentially done, but we can't exactly just ignore this newfound discovery of yours either. Why don't you go a little further in and check things out for me? Now that she's done talking, we are now in the Nakano Underpass labyrinth area thing. There are two pathways to go. We're gonna go right. That's dead end. So I guess we'll head back to the left. So far we haven't come across any enemies yet. So that may or may not change. I don't remember. The tunnel just keeps on going, you say? If it stays on course like that, you're going to end up in Roppongi, which means... You know, this reminds me of something else I've heard about before. As I mentioned before, Tokyo's ley lines stem from Mount Fuji, which is of course not all that coincidence, given that it's a sacred place. And that energy takes old highways like the Koshu Kaido and the Tokaido to get from Tokyo from Mount Fuji. The energy joins up the underground waterways going along the highways that carry Mount Fuji's snowmelt to Tokyo, flowing it into the city together. One theory holds that the first place where the water appears above ground after reaching Tokyo happens to be where else but Nakano. Put simply, all the ley lines that flow throughout Tokyo could well be coming out of our own stomping grounds, believe it or not. Wouldn't that be amazing to think about if it turned out to be true? I just wish I'd be able to stop reading. You know, Kyoko talks way too much. Stop right there. Don't go any further. You're standing at the border of the municipality. Go any farther and you'll be in central government territory. That's a high we best not poke. Color me intrigued, though. That's a hell of a thing to stumble into just walking around inside that tunnel. We aren't prepared just yet to pick that sort of fight. There's still too much we don't know. This little tangent of ours have gone on long enough, I think. Head back the way you came and regroup at the office. Though it's not as strong as we're used to, that tunnel is causing a digital shift. We should probably keep it locked up like before, after all. I have no idea how I'm going to explain all this to our client. No matter how you spin it, it'll probably all be a lot to take in. I wouldn't be surprised if we come away looking even sketchier than we already do. Let's just let Detective Machiyoshi deal with it. Some jobs are just best left to others. You're curious what exactly was actually beyond where you stopped? That makes two of us, believe me. Actually, while you were on your way back, I decided to look into it a little bit. Apparently, what you found was a Kamishiro research lab of all things. Oh, don't be dense. I told you that area is under the jurisdiction of the central government. That's not the sort of place you wander into for fun. If nothing else, it indicates that Kamishiro and the government have a tighter relationship than what we previously suspected. Going after Kamishiro could well mean that we'd be also ruffling the government's feathers. That's why we can't be hastier, and I will do what we can to prepare and cross that bridge when we come to it. This is just a guess on my end, but I imagine it was Kamishiro that changed the password on that door and rendered it impossible to get open. They probably weren't counting on us to be able to actually break in and snoop around. knowing that it could well serve as our ace in the hole later when the time does come to confront them, hopefully unawares. But again, let's not worry about hashing out the details until we have to, and just be grateful we have that up our sleeve if need be. On that note, I realize this case is technically closed, but what do you say about heading over to Roppongi for me one more time? I don't mean on official business. Rather, I'm keen on doing a little independent intelligence gathering for our own internal use. Surely you're interested in knowing why Kamishiro has built a research lab underneath the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building too, right? So, how about you walk over there, walk on through the front door and see what you can find. Sound good? Heh, she talks way too much for way too long. But we're going to end the episode here. This is going to be a two-parter like I did last time, because there's still a whole lot left to do in the Tokyo Metropolitan Government Building. I think that's it. So we're going to end it there. Thank you so much for watching. Next time, it's off to the Metropolitan Building. And until then, I am the Bowmeister. And as always, I have been obediently yours.